And if you show up with enough humanity, people don't care whether you have hair or not. People don't care whether you have a stutter or not because you're connecting with other humans. It's interesting that in an industrial economy where everything is about the things that are easy to measure, which we call hard skills, you have been indoctrinated, like many people, into believing that the fact that you have a stutter means you shouldn't have a podcast because you aren't hitting every single word at the rhythm you're supposed to. But you're not mentioning that you have more empathy and energy and excitement and optimism than almost anybody who has a podcast. So the person who's sitting there with perfect diction and who's boring as dust thinks they're entitled to have a podcast because they fit in. This is perfectionism.
Yeah, sure.
That's not what the world needs more of. It needs these real skills, which some people call soft skills, of humanity showing up. And if you show up with enough humanity, people don't care whether you have hair or not. People don't care whether you have a stutter or not because you're connecting with other humans. And so to answer the original question, we come to the smallest viable audience. So all of us grew up with mass media. And so we know who Oprah is, and we know who Aretha Franklin is, and we know who Ellen DeGeneres is, at least in the States, right? That success looks like 30, 40, 50 million people. But the internet is not a mass medium. The internet is a micro medium. That nobody on the internet, nobody reaches 30 million people a day. And so instead of saying, how many likes did you get on Twitter? We can say, did 100 people get touched by you in a way that they won't soon forget? And if you can publish to 100 people, what's the worst that could happen? It'll just bounce off. You'll never hear from them again. That's it. But there's plenty of other groups of 100 you're never going to run out. If you can serve the smallest viable audience and overwhelm them with what they need, they'll tell the others. And then this micro medium kicks in and benefits you.
And it's so interesting on that point as well, because on that point, I thought, well, because of the stutter, like it's not going to be as good. But then everyone was like, well, wow, because of the stutter, this is really interesting. Like the fact that you have this, it seemed to have connected a lot more. And it was the opposite of what I thought, because there's something that happens, I think, in somebody's head where it's not real, the fear that they have. They don't understand how people are going to react.